I don't know whether, you can pit this against what we've heard from the huge amount of debt, whether actually by opening up consumption in China, it really reinforces the fact that this is the regulators and the people in charge trying to make China a more open economy.
I think that's right. I think there's probably a couple of aspects that I think interesting, and certainly one of them is the fact that this is clearly pitched at the idea that it makes China look like an exemplar of free trade at a time at which the US administration, according to some news reports, appears to be preparing to take a more aggressive stance on trade with China. So effectively, this is them trying to head this issue off at the pass by very publicly and visibly reducing tariffs on a range of goods that are produced in the West. And I think the second aspect that is just as important is that this is positive for Chinese growth in the sense that it's clearly a tax cut for consumers, but it's potentially also marginally positive for global growth as well, in the sense that this should be something that reduces China's trade surplus in a globally economically beneficial way, in the sense of stronger domestic demand for foreign goods. So, yeah, I think it's net positive in the sense that it potentially helps avert a trade war and boosts global growth a little bit.
But you worry about debt. We heard from PBOC, the PBOC, governor said that he will step down. What kind of economy does his successor actually inherit?
Well, the debt issue is still there, and clearly this potentially helps mitigate some of the headwinds that the Chinese authorities are going to have to deliver in order to slow the accumulation of debt that's gone on for the last several years in China, and that is going to be economically very tricky. I mean, we've clearly seen financial conditions tighten in China in a way that, we've not seen outside of China. So there's clearly something going on to try and slow the pace of debt acquisition down at the moment. And I guess you could see this as, a separate economic policy that tries to offset some of those headwinds and keeps Chinese growth running at somewhere between the 6.5% and 7% rate it's been in for the last couple of years.